standing. Oh, this is standing. Hi everyone, we're doing a challenge today. I'm joined by my good friend Tabitha. Hello. So today what we're planning to do is skate to all the colleges. We're starting off at Cambridge Station. The challenge is we'll have to take a selfie in front of all the colleges. Oh, let's do this! So let's get going.
The University of Cambridge was founded in 1209. It is the world's third oldest university, founded by people who relocated from the University of Oxford after a dispute with the local townspeople. All students are affiliated with a college. There are 31 colleges. All Cambridge colleges have a sister college in Oxford. Sometimes you can go to your sister college to join their formals.
Okay, first college. Peace. Next one.
Starting off with Homerton College, founded in Homerton High Street in Hackney in London. They relocated to Cambridge in 1894. Homerton's also the only college which is located in the south of the railway station. Next up is Hughes Hall, named after the first principal, Elizabeth Phillips Hughes, established as a training college for women teachers. It was the first all-women college to start accepting men in 1973. Hughes Hall is one of the 3 mature colleges, which means that students here are over 21.
Tabitha and I met in undergrad. We were both in London and we both did biochem, and now we're here to do our masters. What department are you in?
I'm in the Department of Clinical Neurosciences.
And I'm in plant sciences. I work on plants, you work on cells.
Yeah.
Even though we started with the same stuff.
Yeah.
First day biochem.
That's how we met though.
Now we're pipette, right? Crazy.
Well, some of us have more pipettes than others.
Yeah, it's very different depending on the lab you're in.
That's the topic of conversation.
Yeah, that's the learning lesson, I guess. So we started our masters in October and we are in August. You still haven't submitted it.
No, I have not submitted yet.
I finished my thesis, I finished my viva, everything's over for me.
Next up is Downing, the only college that was built between 1596 and 1869. It has this unique neoclassical architecture. Downing College is next to the Downing site, which has a lot of departments including biochemistry, physiology, genetics, plant sciences. Emmanuel College, notable alumni include John Harvard, who was awarded his MA in 1635, moved to the United States where he founded the Harvard College within Harvard in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Christ College, famous alumni include Darwin, who was a biologist and a naturalist known as the father of evolutionary biology. He studied bachelor's and obtained his MA in 1836. Sydney, Sussex, founded in 1596 by the will of Frances Sidney, Countess of Sussex, and hence the name Sydney Sussex. An English politician and soldier, Oliver Cromwell, studied law in Sydney, Sussex in 1616, and apparently his head is buried in the chapel.
Both of us are associated with a college, but we lived off-site. So we're living in private accommodation. And the reason is, I was on the waiting list. There was no chance of me getting into my own college accommodation.
I think for an undergrad, entering that kind of student environment is important, but we'd experienced 3 years of it at that point, so I didn't feel it was particularly necessary.
Did you end up choosing a college, or was it assigned to you?
I don't think I selected like a particular preference.
Yeah, right? Because for me as well, it was a random choice.
I kind of semi-regret that, but also like I don't feel any connection to my college. Like it's a very weird concept because we're not used to that. Is all the segregation necessary? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I chose to live close to where I work, which means that my travel time is very short. It also means that I live in a very residential area. In terms of like connections, bus connections, I can't get to the station as quickly as I
St. John's. They're known for their spectacular Maypole. It has the famous Bridge of Sighs. Personally, St. John's is my favorite college. They have a beautiful garden and architecture. Next is Trinity, founded by Henry VIII, the wealthiest Cambridge college. It's got the highest number of Nobel Prize laureates. They have a long list of famous alumni, including mathematicians Isaac Newton and Ramanujan. There is a clone of Newton's apple tree outside the main gate below the room where Isaac Newton used to live. Trinity Hall, not to be confused with Trinity College. Professor Stephen Hawking, who is a theoretical physicist, did his PhD at Trinity Hall. Clare College is the second oldest college in Cambridge, located on the Backs, which is the area along the River Cam. Gonville and Keyes, originally founded by Edmund Gonville. It was refounded by John Keyes in 1557. Francis Crick, who is a molecular biologist, one of the scientists involved in determining the helical structure of the DNA, did his PhD at Keyes. King's College, founded by King Henry VI, known for the King's College Chapel, the finest example of late English Gothic architecture, which took over 100 years to build. Alan Turing studied undergraduate mathematics at King's College. Across the road is the Corpus clock, also called the chronophage, which means time meter in Greek. It is plated by 24-karat gold. Also, if you're in this area, the Eagle Pub, which is where Watson and Crick announced the discovery of DNA, and also Jack's Gelato is just on the side of the street. Next is Corpus Christi. It was founded by two Cambridge guilds, the Guild of Corpus Christi and the Guild of the Blessed Virgin Mary. St. Catherine's was called the Catherine Hall until 1860. They have an open court, so the garden, which is only surrounded on three sides instead of a quadrangle found in most colleges.
Nice. We're like halfway done now. How are you feeling? Yeah, it's actually going way faster than I thought. Did you go to any college events?
I went to like conferences. Oh, we went to the Maypole.
Oh yeah, full.
That was really nice.
Further down the road is Pembroke College, which was founded by Marie de St. Paul, Countess of Pembroke. It is the third oldest college. It was the first college to get their own chapel. Across the road is Peterhouse, which is the oldest Cambridge college.
The college is closed.
Next is Queen's College. It was founded by two queens and hence the name. The first Nobel Prize winner of Queen's College was Sir Demis Hassabis, who won the Nobel Prize in 2024 for the AlphaFold and the prediction of protein structures. He studied computer science. Next is Darwin College. It's named after Charles Darwin because the family of Charles Darwin owned some land where the current college stands.
What's the biggest difference between living in Cambridge and London?
The size of the city. Cambridge is big, but like you can get around the city centre very quickly. Whereas London, there are so many different areas, so many different niches. I feel like there's just a lot more to do in London. There's lots of theatres, museums. But Cambridge, I would say, is more of a city for like slowing down. Like I quite like to come here when I'm secure in a job, but I do miss the accessibility of London.
I really like living in Cambridge. It's really quiet because I live literally 5 minutes away from the station. I can easily go into London for a day trip. That made a big difference as well. For me, living in Cambridge has calmed me down a lot more. London, I'd say, it's quite distracting sometimes.
Yeah, there's too much to do.
It's always loud. There's always background sound. Whereas here it's peaceful and quiet. And I really like that about Cambridge. Also, it's really nice and compact. For me, I didn't need a bike that I can just walk out and then there's Mirror Road with all the restaurants. If you live relatively
relatively close to the city centre, you have access to most things.
I live in Cambridge, but I live in a more residential area.
Yeah.
And so, like, to me, to get to the city centre, it takes, you know, a couple of buses.
It really depends on the
Yeah.
location, I guess. Cambridge is safer.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Usually, like, walking home at night, I don't feel like I have to, like, look behind me as frequently, or, like, when I'm walking on a street, I don't feel like I have to clutch my phone very close to my body. Whereas in London, I'm, like, constantly on edge and, like, aware of, like, my surroundings. And Cambridge definitely feels very safe.
Newnham, one of the two colleges which are women only. Tabitha and I saw the statue of Rosalind Franklin. She was a chemist who also contributed to the understanding of the structure of the DNA, but she's often not recognized in the field. She studied natural sciences and did a PhD in physical chemistry at Newnham. Newnham College is right in front of the Sidwick site, one of the major centres for arts, humanities and social sciences. Wolfson College, founded as a university college and renamed in 1973. It is a modern college and doesn't follow a lot of the traditions that are found in more of the older colleges. For example, they do not have high tables for fellows. During formal dinners, students and fellows mix and dine together.
What do you think changed the most between undergrad and masters?
I'd say your independence. You go from being told this is the way you have to do something to suddenly not necessarily being on your own. You have guidance, you have support, but you're being more and more encouraged to do things independently, think independently, you have a lot more freedom, which I really enjoy. Because undergraduate is more contextual, you're just learning all the information.
For me, first of all, not having exams,
Oh
it was
my
a
God.
very big change. Although you have deadlines, it's not sitting on your desk trying to learn information. You spontaneously develop ideas and
Yeah.
try to use it in the context of your lab work.
I think it's like really where your own personal passion and enthusiasm can flourish and grow. In undergrad, you're like, you have to do this for a grade. Whereas like, you're not thinking that way in the lab. Your main goal is like, oh, I want to complete this experiment, but not because I want to get a good mark. It's because, oh, actually, as a scientific researcher, I want to know the outcome of this just for my own intellectual curiosity.
We had weekly seminars, learning what other researchers are doing. That for me was really interesting. Sometimes you're just stuck in your own world. It's nice to get other perspectives. There's always people who ask such good questions.
Yeah.
It's so thought stimulating.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
so much about seminars. There's a lot of like-minded people. It was life-changing because I'm suddenly surrounded by so many people who like plants. Within the field of plant science, there's so much going on, and I think I really enjoyed that.
Next is Selwyn College, founded in the memory of George Augustus Selwyn, who was the first bishop of New Zealand. It is the only Cambridge college which hosts a ball in the winter known as the Selwyn Snowball. Next is Clare Hall, which was founded by Clare College. It is one of the three colleges with hall in its name instead of college. In the medieval period, colleges used to be called halls and houses, and they have still kept the old traditions. While we are here, let's go to the Cambridge University Library, which is the biggest out of more than 100 libraries in Cambridge. It's one of the 6 legal deposit libraries in the UK. Like the British Library, it keeps a copy of every single book that was published within the UK. They have over 9 million items.
It's giving the atmosphere of a prison. Everything's caged in. I've actually never been to the library. No, me neither. No, but apparently everyone's thesis gets published there.
The building was designed by Giles Gilbert Scott, the British architect who also designed Battersea Power Station and many other famous buildings. Across the road is Robinson College, the newest college in Cambridge, founded with a donation by the entrepreneur and philanthropist Sir David Robinson and named after him. It has a distinct architecture which uses red bricks.
It's Karen looking cool. Smile! I'm just fangirling you, Karen. She's so beautiful. Oh, my queen. Probably shouldn't be on the pavement. I'll get off now.
Oh my gosh. So the other thing that's different is where we're living right now. We, for the first time, have our own rooms.
Oh yeah.
We have a clean kitchen. We have a nice living
Nice
space.
amenities.
Because we used to live in a student accommodation in the twin room. So we both had different roommates.
Learning experiences.
We had no privacy back then. When I moved into this house, I was so happy. It was the first time I wasn't worried about like my room being messy, you know, what time do I need to cook?
Exactly. It's so much of a mental burden, every aspect of your life. Like, am I going to wake them up? Am I being too noisy? Like, is this okay? Like, do they like me? Do they not like me? Like, there's so much going on mentally that it drains so much energy.
It's really unconscious thing. But as soon as I moved here, I realized how much I was thinking every single day about just having a roommate.
I think that's like one of the things that I've learned now that I know I can never go back to that situation.
Just read really complicated facility. Oh, keep danger. The road is so good. Oh, the tennis courts. Lovely tennis court. There's loads of rose hips. My dad makes rose hip jelly. That's really good.
Now we're skating towards the west of Cambridge, where the university sports facilities are located, and this is also where the West Cambridge campus is located. This includes Cavendish Laboratory, which belongs to the Department of Physics and relocated to this West campus in 1974. The Cavendish Laboratory is famous for a lot of important discoveries in science, including the discovery of electrons and neutrons. They have over 30 Nobel Prize laureates.
Yeah. It's an animal hospital. A small animal hospital. Yeah. Got all those like chairs out.
How's your year been?
It's quite a complex question.
Answer it to the extent that you can, you know.
I'd say I've learned a lot, some for better, some for worse. Overall, it's been very necessary for my learning as a scientist. But yeah, it's been intense. There are some parts I would rather have not happened. But again, it's all sort of part of the learning experience. Yeah. And I do feel like at the end of this, I have gained a lot out of it. Now I can really appreciate what I'm going into in the next part of my life.
Yeah, I think we had really different years, both of us.
And labs. And that, like, we were sort of joking earlier about the pipettes. In terms of like different facilities, like I'm sharing one pipette with 3 or 4 people and you've got your own set of like equipment.
I mean, your course and my course works differently as well because you applied to your lab directly. I chose my own project after I started my master's. After initially talking to several people and then getting to know what they're doing, where they work. I didn't know any of this, like the difference, not just in facilities, but also the lab environment, the people.
I think that's one big learning lesson for me, finding an environment where you're respected. That's the thing, you spend more of your life in that work environment than you do on your own or at home. So you need to surround yourself with people that will benefit you and make you grow as a person.
Next is Churchill College, established as a national memoir for Sir Winston Churchill, who was a British military officer. He was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1940 to 1945. The college is also known for its brutalist architecture.
Oh, the way they walk, I love it. It's so awkward. It's like you walking over the cobblestone. In the night. I'm fine, just hobbling over the cobblestone. Oh my god, please don't die. This is very possible. Oh my god.
Nearby is Fitzwilliam College, which was originally located at Fitzwilliam House. It's opposite the Fitzwilliam Museum, which they moved to this current location in 1966.
So pretty. Karen in her orange natural habitat. Oh, beautiful. started at 10, now it's 12:30, so we've been going on for 2.5 hours.
Further northwest is Girton College, founded by Emily Davis and Barbara Bodishon. It was the first college that admitted women in 1869. Girton is also the first residential college for women's higher education in the whole of the UK. Its foundational aim was to allow women to gain university degrees, although in Cambridge it was only in 1948 where women were finally able to earn a degree from the University of Cambridge.
I think I lived a dream because I wanted to do plant science, but also equally I saw the reality. I found out how hard it is to work with mycorrhiza. It was kind of dream crushing in a way.
Yeah, I remember you having that kind of crisis of like, you think this is what you like in life, and then all of a sudden you have that like paradigm shift and you're like, oh no, I don't think this is for me. But the thing is, that is absolutely necessary.
It was quite sad for me because I lost what I was passionate about. That's the whole reason why I was so excited to start my master's.
That was sad for me. I feel like I lost a part of you because you convey like so much enthusiasm to all this topic.
It's good that in a way it's 1 year because you get to scratch the surface of the iceberg. You still learn a lot from it.
It's like a rarity nowadays to have such a passion like of unique interest.
Yeah.
So like if you find something like that, it's so powerful.
It was.
It doesn't mean that you won't ever find that again.
No,
it's important to have those like ups and downs.
I'm kind of worried if things will ever get better than this.
Have I peaked?
Yeah, like literally, will I be able to find somewhere else that I would feel this way again? Because I'm starting from scratch basically at this point. I lost passion, but I think I lived it through to a full extent that I think I wouldn't regret moving on.
Exactly. At least you had your dream and you did it.
I guess it's not really a bike to do like a 30k on it.
No, it's good. Oh, we're great.
Murray Edwards, originally named New Hall and renamed in 2008, Rosemary Murray, who was a chemist, contributed to the establishment of this college. She was also the first woman to become a vice-chancellor at the university. Nearby is St. Edmund's. It's the only college with a Catholic chapel. It was founded as St. Edmund's House, named after St. Edmund of Abington. The statue of St. Edmund holding a Bible is found next to the college chapel.
Oh, he's reading some cool stuff.
Oh, so interesting.
You know, he's talking about the molecules.
Oh yeah, those molecules in particular.
Yeah,
my favourite ones.
Exactly, yeah. 3 left.
3 left.
Is there anything you regret?
I think I made my lab life my life. I became so consumed with that environment, you know, going in every single weekend. I've learned now to make boundaries for myself, and I have now learned when it's appropriate to say no, and people respect when you say no. Even heads of labs that have a lot of authority and in some cases look down on people, they respect when you have boundaries. I've always been a chronic people pleaser. I'm like, I'll just say yes to everything. I don't want to cause an issue. I don't want to start an argument. But I think the biggest thing I've learned from this is I need to say no in life, like my own mental being and well-being, but also just for like respect.
You're here to start your masters, everything's shining at you and you're so excited to take everything in. Whatever opportunity you get, you try to say yes, but it wouldn't necessarily take you further sometimes.
No, people can exploit that enthusiasm and naivety in a way. Like if I say no, then it looks like I'm not passionate enough, I feel like I'm being rude to this person, or I'm not being appreciative. It's actually just having respect for yourself.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So even if things go downhill at the time, at the end of the day, I think it's still better to be able to keep the enthusiasm. I should have taken more opportunities to go to my college because I made a group of friends at the very end. Apart from me, the rest of them had lived on site, they attended other events, and so they were really close.
But at least you have met them.
At the beginning, I really struggled to find people to talk to. I had lectures for my course. We didn't have exams. It was for pure learning. I had lots lots and lots of ideas, but I had no one to talk to. I literally had days where I was about to explode. I had so much things in my head. If I went to more college events, I'm sure there are a lot of passionate people out there. I wasn't too focused on making friends at that time. I was also quite desperate about PhD applications. Those are all excuses, right?
No, but at least you you recognize that, and you know like going forward, okay, this is what I need in life, and I'm gonna make a conscious effort to try and like improve that.
Okay.
Oh, back on wheels. Oh, this is a chapel, I see. Yes, girlie, let's go. I think Lucy should just be there.
Lucy Cavendish, founded by a group of female Cambridge University academics, founded as a college for mature female students, was a women's only college until 2021, when it is named after Lucy Cavendish, who was an advocate for women's education. Now coming back to the city centre, Magdalen College used to be a monks' hostel until it was refounded by Lord Audley as a college in 1542. It was dedicated to St. Mary Magdalene.
Last one.
And lastly, Jesus College. Originally, it was a nunnery until John Alcock, the Bishop of Ely, decided to convert it to a college. The college emblem has a cockerel to mimic the last name of its founder, John Alcock. For about 300 years, so until about 1860, Jesus College mainly only trained people to become clergies in the Church of England.
Last one. No way, we actually did it. Lucy Cavendish of Magdalen. Jesus. Woo! And we did 24k. Look at that!
So beautiful. Congrats.
Congrats. We finally
did it.
I feel like it's really the end now.
Yeah. Oh no.
Right.
In a good way and a bad way. Yeah, food. Priorities now.
What are your next steps?
I will be entering a PhD, which I'm really excited for. I'm most excited for the people that I will be joining. I will be joining an environment that I know firsthand. It's very positive, very respectful. I'm also really looking forward to going back to London, as I just said, but I can finally specialise in a topic which I'm super interested in. I mean, I've done that in some part this year, but now as a PhD you become more and more niche. And I'm really excited to be working with one particular technique, which is making organoids, which is like mini brains in a dish. Really cool. It's honestly fascinating. Although there's been some sort of debate as to whether they have consciousness or not. So
really?
It's something that we're going to have to consider more and more in our research. Kind of concerning, but also exciting. I think if I could go straight into a PhD without the master's part, I think that would be a bit more ideal. I'll still be contributing to my PhD, but technically the first year is a master's. I'd say my biggest worries are just I haven't found a location of where I'm going to be. It is a big worry because you want to be somewhere safe, you want to be somewhere close to campus, you want somewhere that's comfortable. But yeah, your future is looking interesting.
I'm going to be doing a 1-year research assistant, and it's exciting because it's a topic that's new to me, but I find it really exciting, like spatial transcriptomics. It opens up more opportunities because it's used in a lot of different fields. I'm really excited for it. But equally, I need to do PhD applications. It's not a guarantee that I'm going to get a PhD next year. It's really unpredictable. I don't like that. And what's worse is I really don't know what I want to do right now. I've lost my passion, I've lost my motivation. I wouldn't say lost, but
it's just changed.
It shifted. At the end of the day, I think it worked out well for me because I think it would give me more time to think about things. It's just also really hard to accept because all my friends, they've now proceeded to start a PhD, or they are already in a PhD, or they're doing a job. People around me are at the stage where their place is secured for the next few years, whereas I am sort of in that transition phase. I'm behind everyone else at this point.
But you're not behind, you're still making progress. That's the most important thing. You've still got ambitions. Although you don't know what you want to do, it's better that you explore what you want to do now. It's not a race.
It's hard to accept that. Luckily, things have lined up for me until now, so having that gap when I wanted to do a PhD at this point, it did throw me quite off. Also because I want to stay in the UK with all the visa stuff.
I think the most important thing though is like you haven't just given up. I think it's more heroic and brave to give some time to test the waters than rush into making a decision, even though it's uncomfortable.
I think uncomfortable is the word. I mean, I think I used to be better at handling these kind of situations where I don't know what I'm doing next.
I think like that's something that you acquire with age. I think you become more and more encroached in your like comfortability.
You know, when you know too much, you know what's good.
Exactly.
That's why.
You're like naive when you're young. You're like, oh, whatever, the world's my oyster, I'll experience everything. But now you sort of know, yeah, I quite like this way of living, or I quite like this way of work.
I like this lab, I like the people. I want to settle down. Anyway, let's see.